Are you one of the millions of Americans who has student loan debt and you have been riding the roller coaster of forbearance announcements and then forbearance deadlines and then deadline extensions and forgiveness plans and then those forgiveness plans being blocked? It's a lot, and it can be hard to know exactly what to do with your money and what to do with your student loans while you're in the waiting. So today we're going to give you some tips that will help you stay ahead of your budget and your finances, even in this season of unknowns. Hey everybody, I'm Alicia, and I'm a personal finance coach who is passionate about helping people break that paycheck to paycheck cycle so they can finally find some peace of mind when it comes to their money. Now, many of us remember back in March of 2020, the first announcement of student loans going into forbearance. And since then, this forbearance announcement has kind of gone through a lot of deadlines and then deadline extensions, leading many of us to not really know what the future of this forbearance plan is. Most recently, the forbearance deadline was supposed to be December 31st of 2022, but that has also been extended. Many of us know that the Biden administration announced a plan to forgive up to $10,000 of student loan debt for those of us who make $125,000 or less per year. Now, if you had a Pell Grant, then that forgiveness amount would go up to $20,000. Since then, there has been a federal ruling that has actually blocked that forgiveness plan. And due to that, the forbearance has now been extended from December 31st into the future. Now, what is the possible outcome here? We don't really know. I mean, we already know that even when we do get a deadline announcement, those have all been extended. But according to a recent press release, there are two possible outcomes here. Outcome number one is that if the forgiveness plan does get implemented, it does get approved after it goes through this appeals process by June 30th of 2023, then forbearance is going to end 60 days after forgiveness is implemented. Now, let's say that it is not implemented. It is not approved by June 30th of 2023. Then forbearance is said to be continuing 60 days after June 30th, 2023. So all that to say, we should be getting some more information by June 30th of 2023. So what do you do in the meantime with your student loan debt? That's a great question. We have been given this advice since March of 2020, and we're going to continue giving it today. And that is to continue working down that debt snowball. When you get to your student loan debt, you can either choose to skip it and focus on some other debts, or go ahead and start making those payments towards your student loan debt. Remember, it's only going to principal. You're not having to make any interest payments, so it is a savings, especially if you have more than that $10,000 or $20,000 forgiveness ceiling amount, because you're going to have to pay that part off anyways. So might as well get started with that now while you're not having to pay interest. Another option is to take those payments that you would be paying towards your student loans and put them into a savings account. I recommend a money market account. It's going to make you some interest while it's sitting there, and it's easy to access when it comes time to use it. Just make sure it doesn't come with a withdrawal fee when it does come time to use it. And what I would recommend doing with that money that you're putting into savings is when June 30th rolls around and we hopefully have more information, you can then take that chunk of money out and go ahead and throw it into your student loan debt. It's been sitting over here in savings, gaining interest, and hopefully it will have grown a little bit. And then you can throw that chunk into the principal of your student loans before forbearance comes to an end and interest payments start to kick back up again. All right. Now, if this is all just sounding a little overwhelming and you've just got some very specific situations going on that you just don't know what to do with, go ahead and schedule a free 30-minute call with me. I'd be happy to hear you out and help get you moving in the right direction. You can schedule that call using the link in the description box below. Also, I know that budgeting can be exhausting, especially when you're first getting started. And even for those of you who do have these student loans and you just don't know what to do with it and you don't know how to budget, and there's just so many unknowns. What do I even do? Why am I even trying? I'm just going to throw in the towel. What's the point? Well, as your coach, I'm going to urge you to please stick with that budget as best as you can. Go ahead and check out this video here. I've got a few tips that might help you keep your momentum and keep your motivation with that budget and help prevent you from throwing in the towel and giving up. You've got this, guys.